Listen, bases loaded, bottom of the ninth. Listen, this is very important because I want guys to understand. Hear me out. If you felt that you had any problems with women in the past, I'm here to tell you that doesn't count. In the words of Allen Iverson, you guys are talking about practice. And I'm going to say this one more time. You guys are talking about practice. If you ever had any type of relationship with a woman and you was not established, now some guys did, they dated women, they had the house, they had the setup. We're going to get to that next. But to all you guys out there that never had the house, you never had the setup, you never had the background, and all of a sudden you dated a woman and things didn't go out according to your plan, because as a man, you should always be the man with a plan. And I'm gonna say this again, you should always be the man with a plan. So at the end of the day, you have to be the leader. So if you let a woman in to any situation and she realized that you're not the man with a plan, that woman is smart. And I'm gonna say this again, because a lot of people, they have emotions. Women have emotions just how we have emotions. At the end of the day, like, we all have emotions. So at the end of the day, if you dated a woman and she realized that this guy does not have a clue, this guy does not know where he's going, this guy he is not able to take care of me, or if I have a child, this man will not be able to take care of his child. If she ran away, we have to literally say, may God be with her. You guys have to understand, if you were dating and you were never established and you were never really in the thought of actually vetting. Now, let's talk about dating versus vetting. 9 out of 10, most guys say date. These guys, they are dating for an end result. And I'm gonna say this again, they are dating for an end result. Men do not care about an end result. We will never date. And the reason I will never date is because at the end of the day, I can make content. I can run it up. Shout out, we got the Twitch channel dropping soon. So at the end of the day, if I have the opportunity to make content or go on a date, I'm going to make content every day. Now, if I go out of town, I'm in your city, I need one more time. That from the top. I'm in your city, I need one more time. Now, I can understand. If I'm in a city, New Orleans, DC, Malibu, I can understand. Like, if I'm visiting, that's different. Let's go out, let's have some lobster, calamari. All women love calamari. So with that being said, when it's all said and done, that's different. But if I'm local, if I'm here in Phoenix, I do not date in Phoenix. At the end of the day, I do not have property in Phoenix. So at the end of the day, I will only entertain a woman until I have property first. First things first. If you never have property, at the end of the day, like, you were scrimmaging. It was just practice. It doesn't count. You got to understand, like, practice is not the real game. It's not the real thing. The real game is, do you got the keys? And I'm gonna say this again, do you have the keys? Do you have the land? If you don't have the keys, if you don't have the land, at the end of the day, you're not the man with the plan. It's simple. So whatever happened in the past, I'm here to tell you that does not count. It does not count. You were dating with $800, that does not count. You were dating while living with your parents, that does not count. You were dating while staying with family members, that does not count. You were dating while staying with friends, that does not count. You were dating while staying with women, that does not count. At the end of the day, that's practice. Don't worry about practice. And at the end of the day, half of you dudes you dated and you didn't get a woman pregnant, so what are you crying about? See, let's talk about what most guys talk about, and they talk about hypergamy. Screw hypergamy. And I'm gonna tell you why. When it's all said and done, as a man, you have to understand that you have the seed. Let it breathe. So if you have the seed, why do you care when you're holding the seed? It's all, listen, when it comes to your mindset, you got to see yourself as valuable. This world tries to destroy men. They try to make them seem like you ain't valuable unless you have a car. You're not valuable unless you live in a certain neighborhood. No, if that was the case, I would never mentor half of the people that I mentored. So when it's all said and done, every man is valuable. And I'm gonna say this again, every man is valuable, but he has to know his value. And when you know your value, you guys have to understand dating is gonna destroy your value. And I'm gonna say this again, dating will destroy your value, because when you're dating, guys know who we want to be with for the rest of our lives. We know who we feel the one may be. So at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, that's why it's so important to not lust. Because when you're not lusting, you know, like, okay, she kind, she check off. She humble, she check off. She got character, she checks off. She good with her family, she checks off. She good with the goats, she checks off. She good with the dog, she checks off. If you don't know, my dog is from Russia. If she go with the cat, she checks off. So you're vetting at that point. And if the woman checks off, at the end of the day, guess what? You now got an invite to the kingdom. You now got an invite to the mansion. You now got an invite to the beach house. Listen, when it's all said and done, I'm not playing, bro. Like, I would literally get a 6-bedroom house and live by myself. And I'm gonna say this again, I would literally get a 6-bedroom house and live by myself and never invite one woman. You're probably gonna think, how do you get a 6-bedroom house by yourself and not invite a woman? Easy, because when it's all said and done, as a man, we gotta do things for us. The only time we need to think outside of us is when it's kids involved. And then when you start to think kids, that ding, 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 that's when women come into the picture. If you're not thinking kids, you don't need to think women, because women and kids, they are an attachment. They go hand in hand. And I'm not talking about women that have kids. I'm talking about, if you want to make kids, you can't make kids with your hand. If you want to make kids, you can't make kids with your personality. If you want to make kids, then you need a woman. So the question is, do you want kids? And if you don't want kids, you guys need to be creating content. It's crazy how so many people talk to me about pimping, but they don't create content. So it's just like, make it make sense. What's more important, pimping or uploading a video? What's more important, getting numbers or uploading a video? What's more important, telling people how many women you slept with or creating content? What's more important? And that's the problem. That's why in the age of social media, I really can't feel sorry for guys who claim they don't have money. They're on dates, but they don't want to create content. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. I'm not judging them, but you got to understand pattern recognition. Most men, now I can understand if you live in the islands, the Caribbeans, that's different. I know people right now in the Dominican Republic, they make $400 and their wife is a stay-at-home wife. And that's cool. But if you live in America, and a lot of people that watch my content, they live in America, you got to really stop and think, are you established? And if the answer is no, I wouldn't even worry about the past. And I'm gonna say this again, I would not even worry about the past. I don't care if a woman, I don't care if she called you whatever. At the end of the day, you put yourself in an opportunity and you pretended to be a man. So you paraded around as a man, you pretended to be the man, and then when she realized you wasted her time, that's when the attitude came. Because when it's all said and done, you gotta think about it. Like, before you hop in a relationship, a woman does not know what's in your bank account. When it's all said and done, if you wearing Jordans, she probably like, okay, bet he working with a little something, something. Meanwhile, who knows? You probably had those Jordans for 5 years. And you just kept them fresh. So when it's all said and done, 9 out of 10, a lot of you guys, you were probably able to get women because you look like some type of money. But the problem is, when you hop in a relationship, a woman gonna know if you have money or not. When your car break down, if you have a car, some guys don't even have a car. I don't care what you say. I don't care if you live in Europe. Guys in Europe have cars. Guys in Italy have cars. I mean, literally, the Ferrari was made in Italy. The Lamborghini was made in Italy. So at the end of the day, I mean, Mercedes-Benz was made in Germany. So just because you live in a major city and you don't even have a car, that's not an excuse. When it's all said and done, how your kids gonna get around? Are you gonna put your kids on a train? Are you gonna put your kids on an A train? Like, when it's all said and done, people are not thinking long term. And my job is to help men think long term. When you think long term, you're gonna realize if you're not ready for kids, there's no point in intercourse. We live in a world where they try to sell you intercourse like it's fun, it's casual, they're gonna throw sexy red out there. I get it, but that's the short term. Righteous men, we could care less for the short term. We think about the long term. People who are not righteous, they fall for the short term. And it is what it is. They're grown. They got to make their own decisions. I can't judge them. They can't judge me. But when it's all said and done, you got to really think, do I want to procreate with this woman? No. So if I don't want to procreate this with this woman, why am I dating this woman? I see women that are beautiful all the time. I see women that are attractive all the time. But I know in the back of my mind, I don't want to procreate with them. So at the end of the day, if I want to procreate with them, I'm going to just give them a silent blessing. And before I finish this video, that's the realest thing you're going to do. If a woman look beautiful, just give her a silent blessing. You don't even got to tell her she's beautiful. All you got to do is say in your heart, wow, she's beautiful. Boom. May God be with her. You could give her a silent blessing. A silent blessing is better than going in a woman's face. A silent blessing, wishing her the best. I wish that woman the best. I wish that woman strength. You could wish people silent blessings. The choice is yours. We could wish people silent hatred. We could say, I hope that person tripped. Like back in the day, they had a phrase go, yeah, fall and break a leg. What kind of compliment is that? So at the end of the day, we could wish silent hatred, or we could wish silent blessings. I feel like if a woman is beautiful, you're not established, just give her a silent blessing and let the other kings win. Let the other kings win. See, the problem is, and I'm gonna finish this video, I promise you, but I'm flowing right now. We live in a world where it's all about competition. So people know they're not established, but they're gonna run out and interact with women so they can feel a part of a group of men. Listen, real men we want to have a conversation with you, because it's like you still living with your parents and you talking to me about having sex. So if the baby popped up, where you going to take your baby? Where the baby going to sleep? Next to the Nike shoebox? Like, let's be serious. We're not being funny here. And some people take it as comedy, they take it as joke, but seriously, if you have a baby, where's the baby going to sleep? Next to your Yeezys? Is the baby gonna sleep next to your LeBrons? Like, I mean, where is the baby going to sleep? This is important. And if you don't know where you're gonna shelter a baby, you shouldn't be having sex. Now, it's easier said than done. Anybody can have a random, woman attack them, because attractive men, sometimes women do come at us a little bit like, what's up, what's up, what's up? But at the end of the day, I tell women straight up that I don't have sex. I let them know up front, and they say, why? Is it because it makes you weak? And yes, it does. I'm a firm believer that you could go from the bottom to the top with the power up. You probably thinking, how do you power up? You power up by the power that's inside of you. It's crazy how men chase after power, but the real power is God. And after God, he gave you seed. He gave you a life force. So if you got the life force inside of you, why would you chase anything outside of the life force inside of you? Why would you chase any club outside of the life force inside of you? Why would you chase any organization other than the life force that's inside of you? With the age of social media, you could run it up by yourself. You could make a cool, without exaggerating, I think every content creator can make a cool at least 15 million by himself. When it's all said and done, in 20 years, I think most people can make 15 million. So if I think in 20 years, every man can make 15 million, how come most men don't focus on becoming established before the dating? I don't care what nobody say. You got 10 million in the Philippines, you set. You got 10 million in Vietnam, you set. The real reason a lot of men will never even hit that level is because they can't leave women alone. I don't care. If you're trying to do it big, you better run for women. God already told you, flee temptation. So if God told you flee temptation, 9 out of 10, if you work on yourself, you're 200 plus pounds, 9 out of 10, the temptation is going to be there. It's there for me, but when it's all said and done, I'm thinking bigger picture. It's all about the bigger picture. Let it breathe.